Soundwave superior. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we will be checking out Transformers Legacy United Soundwave. Now, when I say it has taken me so long to find a good Soundwave that turns into a cassette deck, I mean it. I have been looking for a Soundwave just like this probably since I started genuinely getting into this hobby. Every single Soundwave up until this point has turned into a weird Cybertronian crab jet or some weird non-aerodynamic ship. But this dude finally transforms into the cassette player I've been wanting to get. Now, without further ado, get into the box here. Let's see, Legacy United on there. Got Rumble, Ravage, and Buzzsaw right there. Soundwave on the side, and when I say that's Rumble, it's Rumble. Get the list of characters on the side there. Takara Tomy and Transformers Generations on the side. 40-year anniversary artwork right there. Flipping it over to the box, you can see promo shots and copyright jargon. And on this side, you get some more very, very nice artwork of the man himself. Now, getting in close here, you can see his details, which, real quick, it's hard to see at this angle since I have all my shots front lit by my ring light. But if I take my flashlight in here, you can see that very moment. Here we are. You can see that very, very nice light piping right there. Oh, and since that is all coming from the top right there, if you just have him standing up underneath a light source, just beams light directly into his eyes, and it is very cool. Coming into further detail here, you can see usual detail present there on that cassette deck window. Inside, see all that very, very nice mechanical detail. Down to the side, very, very nice. Got the sculpted in buttons right there. That paint is starting to chip, that's annoying. Coming down to the legs, very, very clean back. All in all, pretty good. For accessories, as always, you have his shoulder cannon. Attaches right there into that 5mm port, and really completes that look. I mean, what Soundwave doesn't look great with his shoulder cannon? Next accessory we have here is his second battery, which if you push on this back segment right here, camera focus, you pull that out, lock that into place, you get his blaster there, which he looks pretty good with, as always. An accessory I'm kind of confused on is this blaster here. It flips out like so, and this might just be a reference to a G1 episode might be something he used in the Transformers movie. I couldn't tell you. All I can tell you is that it's Blast Effects compatible. So, it's whatever. And that plugs into his hand as well. Taking his accessories off and putting them to the side, we get to something I'm quite surprised it was included in this, to the extent that it was, and that you've already seen, if you didn't skip the box segment, is his cassettes. Here, Rumble, Ravage, and Buzzsaw. It's weird that they didn't include Laserbeak. Assassinate me. But Buzzsaw is not a bad addition. It's nice to finally see someone different. Maybe they'll come out, maybe they already have come out with a second cassette pack that probably includes Laserbeak, Frenzy, and probably someone like Ratbat. Unless that's the Autobot side, I forget. Anyways, coming here to Buzzsaw here. See, very, very nice detail on the cassette mode right here. And then unpainted, because you're not really supposed to see that. Coming here to Shockwave, press that little button to open up his chest. And that just slides right in there. And that looks great, as always. For transformation, this side Soundwave out of here. Start off by grabbing these segments and pulling them out to the side until they lock into place. Take this silver piece and lift it up just enough so that it pushes that beak out, which is kind of a struggle to get a grip on. But once you do, you just fold that out, flip down the feet, and the silver piece is on a double hinge. You want to bring it up like that first, and then bring it up, because otherwise this piece is going to end up popping off. And there you have Buzzsaw in his bird mode. Coming in close here to the face, you can see very, very nice detailing going on there. As always, you see that third thruster gets revealed back there. And something that's unfortunate, Soundwave has these grooves on his arm here, right? 4 grooves and 4 tabs. The unfortunate thing is that no matter which way you try to plug him on, this way, that way, the other way, he's clearly supposed to lock into place there. And I have got him to do it before, but it is very, very tedious and doesn't even work half the time. Plus, you have to have him on this side of the arm, meaning he can't be on this side looking at Soundwave, which is unfortunate. Moving right along, we have Rumble, by far my favorite of the cassettes by just how bulky he is and how funny he is to transform. Coming in here, bring down the legs, rotate them as so, turn them around, come down here, flip out the feet, bring down the shoulders, come in here and flip out the hands, come back here to the head, and don't know what that was. And you have this. He usually comes with his head like this in the package, so when you fold it down, he's just looking at you. I do recommend flipping his head around so that he's not just, staring at you through the thing. And here you have him in his robot mode. Very, very nice. And he comes with accessories of his own. First off, he comes with his 2 mini blasters. Right there. And those can plug in both to the side. His forearms there. Or, like usual, they can plug wrong side into his back. Then you have probably his most iconic accessory, his pile drivers. You can see them there. Is that starting to chip? Ah, wonderful. I haven't even had these guys for 2 days. Either that or that's a mispaint. Anyways, to apply pile drivers to his arms, you're just going to come down here, flip in the hands, and rotate the arms forwards as so. Then you're going to slot the forearms into those holes right there. And that is how that works. Now, given that Rumble, the pile drivers kind of cover up those 2 pegs, if it'll focus, those 2 pegs in the back where the guns sit, the designers included, real quick, nope, very, very small pieces, very, very easy to lose, be careful. But they included these little pegs on the back so that you could store the guns while the pile drivers were attached. Something that I forgot to show off is how Rumble fits inside here. He's definitely the most tricky of the cassettes because of how bulky he is compared to, say, Ravage. He's got an extra centimeter of girth on him, so you have to push down as you push him in, and then he doesn't really want to eject, so you have to manually take him out. And even if you flip him around, it's still, tricky to get him out. So you have to manually pull that down if you want to eject him. And finally, Ravage. Now, initially, I thought that Ravage was by far the weakest, but that's because I thought his transformation was a bit too fiddly. Now that I've grown accustomed to it, it's less bad and I can appreciate him more. So start off here by flipping them over. I'm going to flip these front paws out and flip these. No. You have to bring this out and forwards. Out and forwards. That disconnects those tabs, which then lets you bring down the legs. Grab them by here and extend until that clicks into place. Fold the hips forwards, like so. Then flip out the legs, flip out the head, bring the front shoulders down, line everything up, and there you have, oh, my bad, I didn't mean to hit you guys. And there you have Ravage in his beast mode. If you look at him there, very nicely done, but also very blocky and very spindly at first. And this is how he fits in Shockwave's chest. Very, very nice. I think I prefer Ravage in here over everybody else, because his cassette mode just looks so cool. And I might have him upside down, because that logo is supposed to be like that. You can see very, very nice. For posability, going in here to the head, we have a ball joint, so that's a swivel up, not really too much down, and a side to side. Cannon was also on a swivel and a slight up pivot. This here can actually fold down for some reason. I'm guessing so that when Soundwave looks up, the cannon can as well. Slightly, but you know. Shoulders on a full 360, and something that I really don't like is that the rest of the way is just a regular friction joint, but that one is one of the locking ones. You can kind of get around it by moving it very, very slowly, but you know, I might open that up and try to see what that is. Backwards butterfly joint as a result of transformation, double jointed elbows, and a in and out at the wrist. Waist swivel. Front skirts can move up, allowing for a kick that high. Rear skirt can move out, allowing him to kick that far back. Move the arm out of the way here. Insane spread on that. We have an above the knee swivel, 90 degrees at the knee there. A bit of forwards on that, not too much, and a bit of an ankle tilt. Posability is not as great as something, say, this dude, but I don't really expect it to be. Number one, Soundwave is a brick. Alright, he's a lovable brick, but he's a brick nonetheless. So I don't expect him to be too posable. And number two, they had to include 3 mini cons with their own posability as well. Speaking of, coming into here, we have Rumble. Ball joint at the head. Can look up until it looks backwards, and he has a swivel. Full 360 at the arm, in and out, and if that's not enough for you, you can use that transformation joint to get all that up. Nothing at the elbow or anything like that, but you do have an in at the wrist. Legs can kick forwards that far, backwards that far, out an insane amount, almost entirely in on themselves up. Very, very small men. And then the foot can pivot upwards. Coming in here to Buzzsaw, you have a back and forth at the wings. The legs can move outwards a bit, but that would end up folding them in, so I don't recommend that. Then the head is on a series of hinges, one here and one here, so you can gark. And finally, Ravage. Ravage, he doesn't have as much posability as Rumble, but he's a nice middle ground between him and Buzzsaw. This little shoulder can move forwards and back. So can the front leg. Head can look up that far and down, basically all the way. Hips can move forwards and back. And then you have a bit of movement here at that hind leg. And that likes to pop off from time to time. But we're all good. Coming into size comparisons. Get them all set up here. I probably should not have chose this table covering, poor Ravage. But for size comparisons, if my camera let me, we have Legacy Laser Optimus Prime. So you can see how they scale. And then you have Legacy Buzzsaw. One moment. So you can see how they scale together. And I find it funny that these two share the same name. They are nothing alike. Right here for transformation. First, start off by removing his battery shoulder cannon. Come here to the back. Flip down this little backpack. Fold in his head. And flip that back up. Next, you're going to come back here to this flap. Fold these two out. And just leave that be for now. Come down to the legs. Flip them out. Fold this grip panel. And then fold in that. This blue peg here is going to plug into the bottom of his foot. And this is going to hook over the edge. There. Same on the other side. As so. Then you want to bring his arms out of the way and rotate his waist. Bring his arms back, similar to Kingdom and War for Cybertron. Magnus. Fold in his hands and then rotate them so that this gray piece here is facing this way. Same on the other side. And now finally, rotate his legs so that the front of the cassette deck is facing forwards. Make sure this is lifted. Then just bring these up, and there's going to be a tab. Tabs into that gray slot there. And this gold piece is a tab that's going to tab into the side there. Just compress that down, and just like before, second side is the exact same. Now you just want to take these tabs, tab them into those slots, and quick little comment here, I do not like that right there. Sure, this plastic is probably made to withstand that, but with how this piece has to flex, tab into the legs there, it's that makes me nervous, to say the least. I'm worried that's going to put stress on that. It's going to break. Anyways, coming back here, we're going to bring his battery back in. There's batteries, because his shoulder cannon is going to, focus please, thank you, plug right here into the back. You want to take his cannon, and on this front nozzle right here, you want to give that a good firm press so that it doesn't slide out of the front after you plug it in, like so. Take that long gray cannon from earlier, compress it down, and plug that in. There. And there you have Soundwave in his cassette deck mode, and oh, safe to say I'm glad I didn't get the core class version, because this is so much better. There are a lot of complaints on how he is a bit thick this way, you know, and how this piece sticks off and that, but I don't really see it as a downside. It's a brick, a very, very chunky. I said this before, he's a brick, and I love it. He doesn't feel like he's gonna come apart at any moment. Feels solid, everything holds together really, really nicely. And it's just, ah, man, I love it. Bringing his cassettes once more. Like cassette deck. And you can put any one of the cassettes in. Okay, so Buzzsaw's not wanting to cooperate, so we're just gonna slot Ravage into there. Let's see there how he looks with that in there. Now coming in here close, the details. Let's see, very, very nice. Something I really like, these pins here. They're used so that this piece can flip around and flip in. What they did is they incorporated the pin right there, that's a pin, and they used it like a turned off LED. I really, really like that. Going up here to the top, this port becomes a pseudo headphone jack. And then when you turn it around, the illusion does kind of break, but it's charming in a way. I like it. For size comparisons, we have Transformers Legacy Laser Optimus Prime and Transformers Legacy Buzzsaw. Wouldn't exactly say that's to scale, but they look cool regardless. Oh man. I've been gushing about Soundwave this whole review, and you will too once you get him. I completely recommend this with every single fiber of my being. Get him if you can. He's definitely worth the price point by far. And that is for sure. Ooh. Wait, what's that noise? Ooh. Oh my gosh. It's Devil May Cry 5 for the PlayStation 4. Yes, my son. I come bearing great news. This entire week, you will be streaming Devil May Cry 5 for the PlayStation 4. Oh, this bit is so stupid. Anyways, I'm going to be streaming as often as I can this week since I'm off. Thought I might as well, so catch you guys then if you can. It's probably going to be pretty late at night when I do it, around 2 or 3. So yeah, and I do it in CST, so I might be ahead, I might be behind. It's whatever. So if you can catch my streams, please do. I'd very much appreciate it. Love you guys' company. That being said, catch y'all in the next one.